listening to the Walkout Live with me, as always, my buddy Mark the Menace Young. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm good, my brother. How are you, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We're coming live from the Wheelhouse VIP Lounge in beautiful Port Hueneme. It's very exciting.
Start your day with Nature Made.
See, it's not a real show if that doesn't happen. It's always got to be something. See, that's why I always try to record the songs ahead of time.
Hey, that's the hilarious part. It came out of nowhere, and I was like, "What was that?"
I think it was an ad for some sort of vitamins.
Vote for vitamins.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we're at the Wheelhouse, so it's partially vitamins.
The beautiful aroma as I walked into the building.
We're at the point now in society where marijuana is legal. And it seems to bring like a peaceful serenity to the folks that are actually here. There's several people here, and they're having a good time. Beautiful ambiance here. It's
way more chill than any bar I've ever been to.
Right.
Way more chill than any bar.
Right. Really nice. So nice ambiance here. You guys know if you're ever in our city here. Come down. It's off Channel Islands.
Yeah, and I believe they have an open mic night once a week where you can come out and you can try out your stuff. I think it's like a 2-item minimum or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. They have several things they have like a night where open mic, so you can come for comedy. You could be singing. It could be whatever you do. They're actually having fights. So coming up 25th. If I'm not mistaken.
That's the Saturday, right?
Yeah. Saturday.
Are you guys going to come out for this particular one?
Yeah, I actually am going to come out and watch the fight on Saturday here and partake in the event here. So
very good.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
That sounds great. I love that.
Definitely want to, hang out here and, check out what they got going on.
Oh, that sounds like a sweet deal. Yeah, and it seems like I believe it's an open bar for like $50. So
open
you just
bar,
whatever you. Bucks. And if you get in for the prelims, that's a bargain.
Yeah, and so they've had UFC fights here, and so I think that's what I'm saying, that's top notch. You get to come here, hang out with your friends. Did
I ever tell you about how I almost put Reggie Jackson out of business?
No.
Reggie Jackson used to have a barbecue joint in Monterey, and right after I got out of the Air Force, Reggie Jackson had this barbecue joint that had $6.99 all-you-can-eat ribs on Thursday. And I went there every Thursday, and I put such a dent in Reggie Jackson's pocketbook. I'm telling you, dude, I was there. I would eat so much ribs, and that dude's like, really? It was his partner, Nick. I got to know his partner because I was eating there so often.
Hey, that's the crazy thing. So that's like when you have friends, and you got the hookup, you got the link, I'm coming through, bro. Like, wait a minute, I'm going to pay, but I'm definitely going to eat some ribs up in here, bro.
Yeah, so go ahead and aim all of your hate mail at me for Reggie Jackson's Dugout Diner, no longer down there. Cannery Row in Monterey.
Poor Reggie Jackson, man. Yeah, so if you guys are ever in town, I'm saying it's 521 West Channel Islands Boulevard. Cool place. Come down, man.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about tonight. There's so much stuff in the news, so many things going on. So we've got a full, exciting show, and we're doing it live here in front of a studio audience. Which is
pretty cool. Yeah, so what's big? What you been up to, bro?
So I've kind of thrown myself back out into the comedy thing a little more, getting out, doing a little more dates and things like that. And over the weekend on Saturday, I did a show up in Santa Barbara, and it was a good. My buddy owns a comedy club called the Comedy Hideaway.
Okay,
it's great. It's kind of a hip room. It's a younger. I don't know if it's a younger audience, but definitely like an audience that is hip to the comedy scene and like how comedy is, right?
Right.
And so, so I like to kind of go out there. For me, it's a good barometer of like where I am comedy-wise. Because I could be out here making my audience laugh all the time because I've kind of got a little bit of my own audience. But
yeah, used to it.
Until you're out there and you're in front of these hip audience, you don't really know where you're at. So anyways, I go out to do the show. Had a great show. It's a really wonderful show. I don't know if you remember Saturday, it was raining, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So as I left Ventura, it was raining. It was pouring down rain. And I walked through like over at my apartments, there's a little overhang.
Right.
So I got water all over me and stuff. And the way the rain kind of dried in my shirt, I had these really funky looking stains. And I didn't know about it when I performed. Thankfully.
Thankfully. No, bro.
I mean, but yeah, thankfully I didn't know about it when I performed. Because my performances were I had fun. I felt like they were on point and everything. I go home to post the videos for for Instagram because I'm going, okay, I'm going to get on my stuff, man. Be out there. I'm going to post my videos. I'm going to be like a real live professional comedian, right?
Right.
I go and I look at my video, and there's a big crazy stain up here, and a stain that goes right down the front of my shirt. It looked like something nasty on there or something, right? And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
And you were up there the whole time.
Yeah, I was up there for the whole show. No idea my shirt was nasty looking until I got home and watched the video.
Oh, bro.
So I don't think that that's gonna necessarily shake my confidence. I'm kind of disappointed, and I look back and go, God, why does I have a dirty shirt? But I wonder if you've ever had anything like that in the fight world where you've gone and you've watched, maybe something that you did and you're like, it just sticks out so bad that you're like, oh, man, I didn't realize this was going on.
I mean, you got to remember, I came off a 3-win fight streak, took a regional belt, and then I went to fight for the nationals. And, to many people that I was robbed twice, but I sit there and for 1 second when I watch the video, it's almost like I don't know what happened. There's just one moment where I just stiffened up really, and kind of like, I don't know if I remember there was water on the mat and I slipped on it, but I almost feel like I paid attention to that. And then this dude he threw a punch, and we both went to the floor, and there was a scramble, and he got on top of me for 1 second, and they called the fight.
Was that the one in like Fresno area?
San Diego.
Oh, San Diego.
This was the first one.
Oh, okay.
And so I just always remember watching the actual fight and thinking, like, I was a little embarrassed because I was thinking, I don't know, what were you doing? Why were you looking at the water on the ground?
Now, did you slip in the water, or was it like maybe a little bit of a...
I remember we came out and we got into our first scuffle, and it almost made me kind of, a little bit slip. Because it was like a good puddle of water, sweat, I don't know.
Yeah, and you're gonna if you that's where injuries happen, is when you slip, when you lose your footing like that. Not when you fall, not when you're taken down in a
For sure, 100%.
Those when your body's kind of doing a natural movement like that. So that is probably something as a coach you probably had maybe 1% of your brain focused on it, but it was enough for you to feel like you were distracted or something.
Yeah, it definitely threw me off, and I think that time watching that was like. There was another time when I went to a jits contest, and I was really good, just like a natural. When it came to, they threw me in this tournament out in Texas, my brother did. And so I was, that's when I first learned about when people sandbag. So there was a guy there who was probably like a collegiate wrestler. He's probably went to college, but he's an older man, but he's in the beginners like me. So then I went in there, and as soon as it starts, he tries to bulldog me, but I just flip him over. I get on top of him. There's nothing he can do. I'm manhandling this guy, and then he ends up bulldogging me on my back, and then he went for a smothering move, which was just like back then where you just kind of put your hand over the person's mouth and try to gain position, and I tapped to that. And that was weird to me.
Oh,
I
wow.
felt embarrassed because there was no reason. It was because I had never been put in the situation that I just gave up.
Right.
I was truthfully.
You just didn't see a way out of it.
Oh yeah, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I didn't tell anyone in my head that that's what it was, but that is what it was. I just gave up.
Now, looking back, is there anything that you could have done about it if you would have?
Oh, my God.
If
he would have smothered me like that, I would have definitely done nothing besides, bumped him up and, gained position and, I would have, put a whizzer in and moved myself to the side. It would have been so easy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it would have been it would have been nothing to do what I know how to do now.
Right.
But back then I had enough skill. I think I just
needed the lesson.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Sometimes we need the lesson, right?
There you go, bro. That's probably at the end of the day what it could all be.
I never learned my lesson. Don't just grab a T-shirt and go. And don't walk under the overhang when the first time it rains. There's all that crap coming out of the sky.
Right, and or you know what I'm saying, or you could have an umbrella.
Yeah, that's a good point. I should do an umbrella.
I carry an umbrella. I carry one. I'm in my trunk. It just is a part of the car.
I think I need to start bringing a shirt, whatever shirt I plan on wearing for a show. I need to just put it like in a garment bag and just carry it.
So
just a shirt.
So I'll tell you something weird. I technically, when I leave the house, it could be a sunny day, and if I leave, I'm gonna pack a jacket. Sometimes I'll take an extra shirt. I do it all the time when I leave the house, just because you never know what could possibly happen. Like, you know, anything could happen. You could spill something on your shirt and you're going to be out further. So,
Man, I hate to pack with you when it comes time to camp.
oh,
When you
buddy,
go camping, what do you got?
glamping.
He's like,
I'm not even going camping.
he's like, we're bringing the couch.
Bro, you better believe that I'm technically not even going to go camping just because there aren't certain things that I need.
Well, at least you're aware of that, though.
For sure.
So many people go out there, they find out the hard way that the things they need, you know?
Yeah, no, like I'm just, you know, there's certain things I just can't do, you know. So
Tommy went through a little phase where he was really into camping, but he got over that pretty quick when we stayed. We stayed out at Malibu Creek State Park out there, and
Right.
It's in Agora Hills or whatever.
Right.
It was so hot and nasty that we would just, instead of really staying at the campground, we went over the hill and just hung out in Malibu at the beach all day.
Okay.
Because it was like 15 degrees cooler. You know?
Wow. I can't do it. I don't know. I just have it. You know, my mom used to, you know, when she was alive, she used to take me and my brothers or family, or we're going to go camping and set up tents, and you're outside sleeping on rocks. And it wasn't the end of the world, but I'm going to tell you, it wasn't like the greatest thing, because technically all you can do when you go camping is hike. I don't know if there's water, you can play in the water. You know, you're going to eat food off your little campfire.
Have you ever gone to the KOA in Santa Paula?
No.
Oh, you got to check that place out. So they have these cabins. They're less expensive even than hotel rooms. I take the kids, and it'll be just me and the kids. And it's about, I want to say about 130 a night.
Right.
I joined the whatever club, and it's like 130 a night. You have a loft that's big enough for a few of the kids to sleep up there, and then you have like a queen-size bed down at the bottom. There's a bathroom in there. There's a microwave. Not really much of a kitchen, but you have a barbecue pit outside.
Right.
But you have like most of the stuff that you need. You have a bathroom, which is a big, if you're camping, that's the one thing I really want is a bathroom.
You need a bathroom.
Yeah.
Where I can go to the bathroom and shower, and because I'm just not using our house. I mean, you know, if I have to, I mean, I have before, but I'm not just, if I don't have to, I'm not gonna. Just like, you know, I don't really do a lot of stuff like, you know, there's really no need for me to travel out of my country. I would if I wanted to, but I really don't want to.
Right. I love when people are critical of you because you don't go out of the country all the time.
Yeah, that's cool. That's on you. You
Yeah.
can go to the country. You know, you can go to anywhere you want to go, but I'll go where I kind of want to go.
Yeah, we got beautiful Port Hueneme right here in our own backyard. Why are we going to go vacation?
And I'm going to
other
tell
places?
you something, you know, this is just like that's the fighter in me, that I don't want to go somewhere where I don't know the laws. So,
Yeah.
no, and even that, not that I don't know the laws, the laws are not the same where I'm from. So, you know, for certain things that I could possibly do here in my country and somewhere else would get me thrown in some jail for half my life or whatever, and I'm not doing that. And then, you know, so
Yeah, was it Brittany Griner who had the
Sure.
the vape pen in
Russia.
Ooh.
A vape pen?
She spent like it was a couple years
Right. I mean,
over a vape pen.
and our president was not gonna go get her. Like, so
It's like you should know better than to bring the damn vape pen.
Imagine, you know, she, you know, came to the Wheelhouse, got her vape pen over there, and next thing you know, for something that is perfectly legal here,
Yeah.
but not there.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff. I have a buddy that kind of told me about. They check even like on cruises when you go, like when you're doing like the Ensenada cruise and stuff. They
Right.
actually check the luggage and stuff. So
I'm
you have
sure.
to be careful about that stuff.
Because yeah, you can't like on those boats. I'm sure that you can't.
It's international waters, so there's like different. I don't know how the rules go on that. Who
Different
knows?
rules. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to go on. I've been on boats, but I haven't been on a cruise.
Dude, they are missing a great opportunity, a marketing opportunity. Can you imagine a bunch of potheads on a cruise? That would be so fun.
One of the. Can you imagine?
Everybody's happy. Nobody cares if dinner's a little late.
No, all the crew members would definitely, have to stay sober so that everybody else can feel comfortable. Because could you imagine?
Yeah, my comedy shows would be fun.
It'd be like the Titanic.
No, it wouldn't be like the Titanic.
I'm saying if you let the staff get. I was saying if you like had let the staff who were, manning the boat.
Oh yeah,
they have to stay sober.
Yeah, they gotta follow the rules.
Right.
They gotta have 24 hours clean for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm.
I don't know though. I'm a better driver if I have a little bit in me.
Okay, so I mean, there are actual studies that show that when you're getting high, that you focus more on something that you're doing, and you actually become like you hone in on that thing, so you can technically do that thing probably better than you could if you weren't.
You're more focused.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the difference between alcohol and marijuana. Like alcohol, it kind of like messes up your judgment and makes you think that you could do things you can't. And has
Right.
there's like a lot of weird a lot of times turns you into somebody you're not.
Right.
With the weed, what it does is it kind of knocks down that rumination, all those voices that distract you when
sure.
you're doing stuff. So, like when you're doing something like driving, you're not thinking about the 1,000 things that went on at work and at home and all that stuff. You're just
I mean, and they're
driving, and I'm happy.
And they're letting the fighters now smoke. There's a lot of fighters now who are actually at the point where they're smoking. See, my cousin smokes.
What a quick turnaround for that was too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How are you technically going to battle that? How are you gonna you can try to, but a lot of them use that for pain.
Yeah.
Literally. So.
Well, the NFL learned the hard way. You use the painkillers,
That's
and then
kill you.
suspend guys for 4 games and take
Right.
away a quarter of their paycheck for marijuana.
For sure.
When it would have saved everybody money, I think it would have saved probably a lot of lives to be able to have
Sure.
that as their remedy, something that they can. Because if you when you're smoking, if you have some more recovery left. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think those guys can listen to their body better when they have that. When we talk about it, like the rumination, when you don't have all that, your coaches aren't as much influencing your decisions, and you know what I mean. You can actually focus on where am I actually with my body and all that stuff. I don't know.
true.
Maybe I'm talking crazy.
No, it's you just have to look at it in the fact that it has been like something that's healing for a long time for a lot of people, and we're not just talking about people in sports. We're talking about there's sick children who suffer from illnesses that doctors can't even help their parents. So I'm just speaking from actual facts and cases that are out there. So that's it could help a lot of people.
I think so too.
It could help the economy.
So we're kind of at a doctor's office right now, coming
Sure.
from the Wheelhouse VIP Lounge.
We are, and
dispensary here in Port
and
Hueneme.
it actually looks like today's a good day. I think they're having a Friendsgiving today.
Oh.
Excuse me, Diana. You Friendsgiving are they having here today? Yeah, a Friendsgiving.
Oh, so what's Friendsgiving?
40% off.
Oh,
40% off, no entry fee.
wow. So 40% off the entire menu and no entry fee?
It's pretty cool.
Oh, that is a good one. Jeez.
I know. So I would assume.
Wish I wasn't broke.
Yeah. I heard that. So, bro. So tell me. Earlier we were talking. You mentioned the buyout of PFL.
Yeah, I thought that was really big news, and I didn't see it as many places as I would have expected.
But you know why?
Is it because UFC runs the world?
There you go. That's big news, but nobody wants to. They don't want to hear that.
But PFL, if I'm not mistaken, is doing just as well as the UFC. It's just not as in the media and stuff, right? Isn't the PFL doing pretty good?
For sure. But you got to remember, Mr. White runs it all.
Yeah.
He runs it. And for good measure. We've benefited from a lot of great fights.
Yeah.
From Dana White. It's taken me like it's taken me a minute to look at how he runs his business, and people call him a crook or whatever. He's taking people that have nothing and giving them something just for fighting. There's some people who just fight for nothing. They're out on the street fighting. It's got them thrown in jail. All kinds of things. It's gotten it's put charges on men, but now he's giving dudes a way to hit a gym, hone in on the skills, and then be welcomed into this thing where you can feed your family.
Yeah, Conor McGregor didn't have anything before UFC.
Right.
You have a lot of fighters that made it. I'm trying to think of who all, but there's quite a few of them that started from nothing, and right. UFC provided an avenue where people have been, like you're saying, they're fighting for free. They're fighting on, smokeouts and reservations and things like that.
Right.
Not getting paid or getting paid very, very little.
Sure.
And Dana White's actually kind of helped build it into a way where they're able to market themselves. They're making ancillary income. You look at, people like Paige Van Zandt. She launched herself UFC. Now she makes way more money without having to get hit in the face, doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And she's not the only one. There's other people doing that, but it really has. And I think you're right. I think that he is a little bit underappreciated because there's this automatic feeling that anybody who is running a fight organization has to be a crook, or anybody who has to make tough decisions that hurt people's feelings.
Right.
They've got to be a crook. But really, he's almost every step of the way has kind of done what was right for the organization. I mean, he's had some hiccups because he's human, but I think, if he says something, he doesn't necessarily hold himself to that. Like when he said, we'll
right.
never have women in the UFC. He found the opportunity and built.
made good on that.
Yeah.
I think, even in the fact of people say, he doesn't want to give insurance. It's sad, but there are actual jobs that are 9 to 5s out here that you're going to work them and you're not getting any insurance from them either. You can work for a temp agency because you can't find an actual job through a company and you're not going to get insurance. So I'm not saying that it's not something that's needed. Even in football, it took many, many years for them to change the rule that these men will get the type of care they need. So in due time. Yeah. That's what I believe. I believe in due time it will happen.
And I think there's I think that he's also put money towards fighters who've had issues and it's not something that's put part of the mainstream, where it's not put out there,
Right.
Because you can't publicly be really giving when you're in that position, because you've got a lot of struggling fighters underneath you, a lot of them,
For sure.
And he knows that there are guys that his organization was built on their backs and they're struggling. And so I think I'm sure that he's the kind of person that's probably helping those people out on some level.
I believe it. So, as far as PFL, that's dope. That's how I look at it. I look at is, it's a positive thing that organization that they're acquiring such a great organization in Bellator. And I'm not really going to look at it like there's this huge war going on. Maybe there is, I don't know. But to me, it's just like, a great organization's doing great, and this organization has been doing great and is going to continue.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that the discrepancy level in talent isn't that big. Like
right.
The Bellator, they're good fighters over there.
For sure.
A lot of them are either people who got frustrated in the UFC.
Right. They have another home that they can.
People love Chandler. That's where Chandler came from.
Right. So I think that's really cool, and it's like great news over there. Great news. I don't think we got to talk about. Excuse me. I don't think we got to talk about the Alex Pereira fight.
No, we didn't. No, but we both watched it. Yeah, me and the kids sat down and watched that one.
What did you think, bro? I wasn't going for Alex on this one. And I believed that
It didn't
I
look
always
like he
mess
was
his
gonna
name up.
win it.
Pravashka. Is that, did I say it right?
You're asking the wrong cat, yeah.
We're gonna go with Pravashka. Or I thought I went with him because I've had this thing like he's a tough guy, but truthfully, I think that Piera is the truth.
Yeah,
And he is proving it to everyone. He came in and he handled business.
It kind of looked like he was kind of fighting from behind a little bit too at one point.
Thank you. At least me and you agree on that.
Yeah.
So I thought that he might have was going to get dominated, and then out of nowhere, bam, done deal. So some people argue early stoppage. I don't know. That's up to the ref.
Yeah, that one's hard. That one you can make an argument for either direction because of the direction that he fell and everything else. Like I don't think that was an early stoppage.
Right.
But I could also see why everybody. I mean, I think even Rogan and Cormier and them were saying that they should have let it go a little bit longer or something, right?
Yeah.
Or am I getting that confused with another fight?
No,
I think that
they're saying it. So it was a great fight. I mean, it sucked that it went that way. It didn't go in my favor, but oh well. It wasn't like I had money on the fight, so yeah, that's fine there.
That's a different level of buy-in when you have money on the fights.
I know.
I've gambled on a couple of fights and I don't like it.
Yeah, you gotta have a for sure. I mean, we went to Vegas before. Went with my brothers, all the fam, all the boys, and then our friend was fighting that night, and that was a great night because we were out. We all decided, of course, we were going to put all our money on the pit bull. We were going to put it all on him. And he fought Burns. He fought Burns' brother.
Right.
I forgot his first name.
Not Gilbert,
but his brother.
I forget his name too.
That's what I'm saying. I'm spacing on his name right now. But he fought him, and it was.
I think it was Dick.
It was a dangerous fight. It was
Dick
a
Burns.
dangerous fight, and he pulled that fight off that night, and actually, he won. And I remember when he submitted him, we jumped up. We were in some club in Vegas. We got kicked out of there because there was a lot of we bet a lot of money. Everybody put up everything.
Oh wow.
Based on he was gonna win, and he did.
So they had to empty out the safe.
Oh yeah, that night was a pretty wild night.
I've never been there for an empty the safe night. I mean, not that I know of, anyways.
I took a picture. It was I think we still have it. I had maybe I don't know, $40,000.
Wow.
Like this, two phones.
Oh,
it was wild. It was a wild time, but it was that's when you that's what they say when you have insider information in the fight game. Your friend fights in UFC. That's my brother trains with the Black Beast.
Right.
That's his. That's one of his partners. Now he basically knows if he's gonna win. He knows how his training went before the fight came. Those are some things that kind of you would call inside information if you wanted to go and put a bet on it, or you could bet against. You could be like, oh well, I noticed that he hasn't been training as well as
Right.
Go put some money on it.
You get in more trouble if you get caught betting against somebody
I think so.
You get in all kinds of trouble with them casinos.
I think so. Unless your boy is into yeah, bro, go bet against me here. Throw some of my money on me.
They're like, this dude here just put $500 against Black Beast. He also has a picture on his Instagram of him at Denny's with Black Beast.
For sure. That's
he
horrible.
knows something.
That's horrible. Yeah, that's definitely horrible.
So we got a lot of. So you're going to be here on Saturday here at the Wheelhouse VIP Lounge for the fights.
Yes.
Our buddies over at Sparstar, they've got their big event going on over in
they do.
Commerce.
Which their next event, I want us to be there, and I want to set up the My Fight Shop store.
Yeah, we should.
Pop up and just be there. Both there.
I think that would work good. I think we should.
I really would like for that to happen, brother.
Cool. I like that.
You know,
What about any other local promotions, anything like that? Do you know any of your fighters getting dialed in for anything coming up?
so we got a couple of our fighters are going to be fighting up north. That is on the 28th, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 28th. It's I don't know, it's Friday maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going up to, little cow country up north, and they're going to be fighting on the 559 fights cards. I'm not being biased. I feel like every time we went up there, we've gotten robbed because the way I look at it is we're coming from somewhere else to their promotion where they have people who are from their city.
Right.
So let's just be honest. They have like hometown favorites and stuff like that. So we have had our fighters. I've been there and I fought on those and just felt like it was just robbery, man.
Yeah, anybody listening that thinks that that's some kind of a weird sour grapes or something like that, you've got to realize that these promoters are trying to build a brand. They're trying to build a business. Mm-hmm. And if they can get one of their local fighters who's been there for a while to go and roll through and get this winning record and start getting a little bit of attention from some of the bigger leagues,
right,
that those videos and those pictures popping up are really good for the promotion. Them coming out and having their local fighters get stomped, promotion after promotion is not good for business. In fact, you won't have a business very long if that's the way it works.
Right.
People aren't going to come out and support the local fighters if they're getting crunched every time.
You're right, and it is about putting asses in seats. So if they're the hometown favorites and they have their whole family and friends who come out every time to see these fights, and as long as he doesn't get beat down in there and it's an obvious loss, they're gonna sway the favor in him, in their hometown favorites' way, because the next time they have the fight in the next month or two, he's going to fight on it and he's going to bring his family and friends back again. So
when you fought for the belt up there, did he have like a significant number of audience members there?
Yes, sir. He had his cousin.
And you guys had like a car full.
Yep, there you go. So it's just, you can tell, it was, and I'm not saying I got hit in the ear, which made me like it rocked me. I went down and you can see that I was still coherent, which I went to scramble and get up, and nope, the ref jumped on us and was like, fight's over.
Yeah, you were getting up. I think you were on one knee and one palm, just trying to pulling yourself up, and
that's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're gonna go out there. Our guy. I told him this is how it has to be. You have to not leave it in the hands of the judges and beat the living crap out of them, and you make sure that it's not in their hands, and you get your hand raised.
Right. Are you going to go make the trip, or do you have other coaches going up?
I know coach is going up there. I know my fighter wants me to go, so we'll probably do like a turnaround.
A turn and burn?
Yes, sir.
That's where you go on up and then just come right back after the fights, right?
Yes, sir. So I'm thinking that may be, what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on, comedy-wise, I've been on a few of those turn and burns. I like those better sometimes. I couldn't imagine doing it after a fight or doing it after, being in the corner of a fight.
Right.
Because those fight promotions are long.
Right.
But after comedy, you've got, you don't have the long lag time where you're in between fights, and then fights you don't care about, fights that are exciting, and then fights that aren't exciting. You have all that kind of like, it's a little bit of a drain on you throughout the night. Your stamina kind of gets worn out. In comedy, it's like, first comedian's up, second comedian's up, and as long as everything goes good, you're leaving and your adrenaline's going. And so sometimes you're like, I should do something with this adrenaline. So if I'm out in Fresno, would I rather get in the car and go ahead and drive home now while I have all this adrenaline, or do I want to go sit at the hotel, not fall asleep till 4 o'clock in the morning, and then get kicked out at 10 a.m. because they got an early checkout because everybody in the country wants to stay in Fresno on a Thursday night or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it makes more sense. So that's why the turn and burn makes sense in comedy, but I couldn't imagine on the fights.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll play it by ear. Sometimes if we have to get a room while we're out there, we will. If not, we'll turn and burn.
Yeah.
Come on back. Any comedy stuff coming up?
Yeah, well, I've been booking a few Christmas parties, so I've got a lot of Christmas parties. I'm going down to Orange County with Bruce Baum. We're doing it at a theater down there, and that's called the Cabrillo Playhouse. You can check out my social medias if you want to find out how to get tickets to that.
Right.
But yeah, Cabrillo Playhouse. And then we have the big Mardi Gras event that's going on over at the Tower Club. I don't know if you remember last year, but my friends over at Turning Point, along with the Rotary Club, Ventura South,
right,
they put on a really big party up inside the Tower Club. And that's where, I'm sure you remember I did a show in the Tower Club not too long ago.
Yes.
So I had donated a show, one of my regular comedy shows, which usually value between $1,000 $1,500, right?
Right.
I bring my sound system, all that stuff. So I donated it to their silent auction. The club owner, John Zaruka, the guy that owns the Tower Club, he's like, hey, if he's going to donate that, well, why don't I donate my club? So we'll make it dinner and a show.
Right.
Perfect package, right? And so obviously that got purchased. Purchaser ended up transferring it over to my buddy Bob Davis, who puts together another event, who does Christmas in July. So he made my comedy show of Christmas in July another fundraiser. So
wow.
Money raised after money raised after money raised.
Go ahead, bro.
All that to say that we have Mardi Gras coming again. It's right around the corner, like February, I think.
Right.
And we've got the same donation going again, where it's dinner and a show. So we'll be back at the Tower Club again in the next few months doing.
That's beautiful,
doing that.
bro.
So
that's
cool.
Beautiful, man. So I was telling you earlier, something really crazy just has happened in the last couple of days. We got a call from a good friend of ours. Me and Coach got a call from a friend of ours, Ken Rose. He has a gym, Ken Rose Muay Thai Warriors, up in Newbury Park.
Oh, nice.
Our good friend is moving to North Carolina, and this great man has handed over his gym to me and Ben.
Wow.
So now I will be running Progressive Martial Arts Newbury Park in Newbury Park.
That's very exciting.
It's a lot. It's overwhelming. And this has just happened in the last couple of days.
Wow. I can't wait to support that.
He's moving on because he has things that he wants to do with his life. And truthfully, he's been there 26 years. 26 years, brother, in that location. So he has a legacy there in which I'm not changing. I'm going to leave, a lot of how he has things, because he has, people that have been going there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And just bring the little bit extra that I need to the foundation there.
Nice. Well, congratulations. That makes me very excited.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, you're going to be part of all that. That's not
I can't wait. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll just disinfect the mats for you. I like that.
That's
I just want some place to be during the day, man.
I know. That's beautiful. Can you ask Renee to come on over? I want to talk to Renee. She's the reason why we got to come here and do our thing. Let's talk to her.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. As we said just a few minutes ago, we are here at the Wheelhouse VIP Lounge.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little conversation with my new friend. I don't know how long you've been friends, but you introduced me.
So, Miss Renee, it's awesome because since the first time we came in here, she has been like the awesome catalyst of why we like coming here and coming back here. And all of the staff here is awesome. She's the reason why me and you are here today, being able to do the podcast at the lounge, because that's just the way it is. So I wanted to bring her on the show and just talk to her and get her side of what they're doing here, what this is all about.
Well, thank you for joining us, Renee. And how long have you been with Wheelhouse?
I've been with Wheelhouse almost 2 years now. It feels like forever, honestly, because I love this place. I practically live here, which is great. Because I get to meet all these amazing customers, like Mark and now.
Thank you. Right on.
This is great, honestly. And this place that we have created, we're normalizing cannabis. A lot of the times people go out, they want to smoke, but they don't smoke because everybody's kind of looking at them. They start smelling cannabis on them. They're like, oh yeah, I got to go outside.
Right.
So we pretty much created a whole lounge and a place that people can feel comfortable. Maybe someone hasn't smoked in 20 years or 10 years and they want someone to be their first smoking buddy because they don't have friends. Now it's a little bit harder to hang out with people because work, all kinds of different things, school gets in the way, and so we're not able to have somebody that's there there like how we used to. We used to have a smoking buddy like every day. Like,
Yes.
Right?
Several of them. Come by.
oh yeah, it would come on over. We had a dime stack, whatever the case is, we'd share that honestly. So
Right.
now this is the place that we have our smoking buddies. Everybody comes through, new friends, old friends. So I just love the type of environment we have created here at the lounge.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like Cheers for cannabis. You know, it's
Yes.
it's a great place. So yeah, you know, I was telling him about all the events you guys have before. I know you're here and you're running things because you're like part of the ambiance that goes on here. So before you go, just quickly, you have a lot of events going on, and if people want to get events, they're supposed to reach out to you, correct?
Oh yeah, yes. Please reach out to me. You can call me at the lounge. You can reserve on Open Table. I prefer calling at the lounge if you do want to plan any type of event. You want to have a podcast, anything and everything. We want this to be that place because some people have platforms. They're talking in their cars. They're going to the beach. They're going to Starbucks, and we want you to come here to do those type of things and join us. And we have the space. We have the cannabis for you. We have non-cannabis if you're not into that. We have everything and everything. So please, if you want to do anything here, please let us know. We have multiple events. We have an open bar event coming up this Saturday. If you wanted to have the whole menu to yourself.
We'll be in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please come through, please.
That's awesome.
You can only imagine an open bar. That's got to be a good time. I was mentioning to him, too, because if you go for the early fights, you got a good long afternoon ahead of you.
Yeah, you
It'll
do.
be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. So, yeah, you know, we try to promote and have people understand that this place is here. You know, it's a really, really great environment to come out and hang out. You know, there's people coming in and out. It's really, really cool ambiance, like I said before. So, yeah, I just thank my sister for allowing me and my brother Tom to come and do our podcast here, hang out with a bunch of great people. We just thank you so much.
It is.
We want to make it a normal thing, so I want you guys to join us. Please do. Everybody's looking, and I know they're asking questions. Somebody already came in there like, we can do that, or we can watch them. I'm like, yeah, you can go and watch them if you want to.
There it goes. There it goes.
Well, we appreciate this great, warm atmosphere. It really is perfect for this kind of a thing. It
Yes,
really
sir.
is. Because it's just comfortable, and
Yeah.
you feel like you're among friends that you don't really know yet.
Part of the
Kind
community.
of a thing.
Yep.
That's awesome. So
I don't think
thank you.
I don't think if I worked here, I'd be able to leave. Is it hard to tear yourself away from here when it's time to go home?
Yes, I have a timer, honestly, that shows what time you're supposed to leave because sometimes I'm talking, I'm having conversation, and you can't leave because you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Especially if you come with a good topic. Oh, we can be in here for a whole hour.
For sure.
Now we got games, too. We got PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. Now you can just come in with a group of 5 and want to go Smash Brothers. Go ahead. Go
Yeah, I noticed
Go
that.
ahead.
I mean, and they have everything from Jenga. I mean, they have Yahtzee. They have everything. Monopoly. You know, they have chess. You know, my boy Sunny, he's here. You know, we're going to talk to this guy in a second. But he taught me chess when I was here.
Oh.
I've always wanted to play, and he's the one who taught me to play on one of their beautiful chessboards. They have a couple of them. So, man, you guys definitely don't know what you're missing.
So what kind of other events do you have coming up? Like you have an open mic that's how often is that?
Yeah, we have an open mic that's once a month. That's the first Thursday of each month. Our next open mic is actually going to be held from a local comedian. He's great in the community. He's really funny, and he's going to bring a couple comedians as well. But that is also for people in the community who don't have anywhere that want to sing, perform their poetry. Somebody came with just their journal and they wanted to just share their message because they don't have nobody to share their message with. They went up there and went up for like a minute, and they said, thank you. I just don't have nobody to talk to. And I just wanted to express that.
Wow.
And that's what it's about here. And we were clapping,
cool.
and it was great, honestly. So yes, please do that. And if you like to sing, we got karaoke as well. That's the last Thursday of each month. And we got some Alicia Keys up in here, man. And you'd be surprised.
Wow.
Yes.
We got to come up for some karaoke.
I know. I'm fine.
I've done
with that, bro.
karaoke drunk before. I don't know if I've done karaoke high before.
This might be cool to see.
It'd have to be some slow ass music. I'd have a hard time keeping up with that.
Oh no, we had Yin Yang Twins playing on that Saturday, man. We had people dancing.
Yeah. Real
Yeah,
karaoke.
shake everything.
I like it. I love it, man. That's cool. So,
I do too. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us and inviting us. And we'll surely be back very soon.
for sure.
Oh no, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
See you soon, sis.
All right, my friend. So you have a very special guest here. Tell me who you brought.
Ah, my boy, man. This guy. Me and him have been together for a long time now. We're going.
Or more, huh?
It's probably been a little longer now.
Yeah.
It's probably going on like 6 years, 6.5. It's my good brother, Sunny the Guru, the Savage Guru. Actually, this guy, I know me and you, Tom, met through fighting, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Me and this guy met through fighting as well.
Oh, wow.
And he's one of the. I think the Savage is a beautiful name for him because that is what he is. He's definitely a savage when it comes to fighting. So, yeah, this is my boy. How you doing, bro?
Thank you. Yeah, good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Let us know. This is a lot of times I've been wanting to ask you. So tell us, what is your fighting background? What do you do?
Fighting background, I started wrestling when I was in ninth grade. Even like at first wrestling, I wasn't really liking it or feeling it. I was more into basketball at the time.
Right.
And then like a month later, I realized, wow, wrestling is much more action and intense than just like this basketball or other sports. Yeah. And then after wrestling, one of my buddies showed me a documentary about MMA. And that looked even more like crazy, intense action than wrestling. So, yeah, after seeing that, I put an event together before MMA was even popular or big. Fights in my backyard.
Wow.
Yeah. MMA before it, this was like in 2001 when I was still in school.
No way.
Yeah. I thought MMA looked pretty crazy intense, and there was a couple other guys, and some of the guys wanted to compete or wanted to try to fight, and I'm like, yeah. And then I matched a couple guys up, and a few of the fights took place in the backyard. This was a long time ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I trained on and off, and then I got serious into training in like 2009. That's when I kind of started training full time.
How'd you meet Ben?
Coach Ben, I met him. I was a member over at Gold's Gym. This was at the time. And I took one of his classes, and I thought, man, this guy's pretty decent, pretty good with his striking. And so I invited him. I was training with Rex at the time.
Okay.
There was no striking coach, and I invited him to come and train with us.
Right.
And then he came and trained, and I liked his style of teaching, and then I asked him to come and teach at our gym, and then he said he would give his notice, 2-week notice over at Gold's and start coming and teaching with us.
Right on.
Yeah, and then that's when, after we worked with Rex for a few years, that gym, like the owner, David or whatever, we were subleasing. He had to downgrade, and then there was no more space for us to be in there. So we had to go find another place, and that's when I went over and asked KO if they would sublease to us. But instead, they hired Coach Ben at an hourly rate, and that's when we met you.
Beautiful. You see, the rest is because he's a great wrestling coach. Knows jits very well.
I've been involved with it. Wrestling since ninth grade. So in ninth grade, I was like 98, 97. That's my ninth grade year or whatever. Right. Yeah, wrestling since then, and then grappling after that. Yeah, like after high school or whatever, 2001. So I've been around it almost all my life. Yeah.
I think it's great that you put on events as a kid. I just think that's so cool.
Yeah.
How do you talk? Were they other kids that were fighting, or were you getting adults to pop in there and fight for you?
Yeah, well, the kids, and then one of the kids, his dad was there recording the event back in. Yeah, this was like a long time ago. Yeah. Yes, so MMA, I saw it in Mon. I thought, wow, this seems like exciting action, intense. Yeah, I had wrestling in there, and it even seemed more like intense than wrestling. Yeah, I mean, there was striking and submissions, and I don't know much about it, but it seemed like crazy intense.
Right.
And then some of the kids were interested and wanted to try out, and then then we put on an event in the backyard. Yeah, before MMA was even big.
That's really crazy. I didn't know that about you. I've been with you a lot of time, but I know you're into events. Speaking of that, I told you that about the guy who's wants to put on that event in
Ventura.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And we have him on the mic. So
nice.
We've spoke about it just briefly because I know you don't want to put too much of that information out because it's in the works. But briefly, you can just before we.
I've seen one spot. I've seen one or two couple of different venues right now. We're trying to negotiate, see who can give us the best deal for our money, and we've seen a spot in Ventura, one in Oxnard over at the Ocean View Pavilion. You guys probably know, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Seen that venue. Right now, we're gonna talk to the owner of the building, see who can give us the best deal to rent out the venue for the day.
Right.
We've seen a spot in Ventura, the Ventura Theater. Right now we're in talks. Maybe next week we're gonna go see the owner of the building, talk to him, see who can give us the best deal to rent out the venue that day.
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a blast.
Yeah.
And we need that in this area.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we took you to fight over that place. What was that hole in the wall? Like, we're much more happening and bigger than like that.
Yeah.
Like Village place we went to. What was it? Visalia? What was it?
Visalia.
Yeah. I mean, we're a lot more nicer, happening place, a lot more people. I mean, they would love it, enjoy it here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were just talking about how in certain communities they have to promote the local fighters, so it's a lot harder to go in there and win, knowing that these fight promotions, their financial futures hang on the balance of their local fighters. So so it's there's a lot against you going into those places.
Definitely.
Yeah,
so let's make it tough on them now.
Yeah, exactly. Come over to our home so we can have a bunch of our fighters win.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll invite you down here to fight too. Come on down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've talked to a matchmaker, Anthony, who's done like hundreds of shows. He'll help us out, match guys up, bring talent from LA and all over.
Right on.
Yeah, we want to aim towards like maybe 12 to 13 fights. I know like the week of the fight, a couple of fights will fall out. At least have maybe even aim for more like 14 or 15. I know a couple of fights will probably fall out.
Yeah.
The week of the fight, I'm sure. But yeah, if we can get like at least 10, 12, 13 fights on the day of the fight, the event, it'd be good.
That's awesome. So before we go, you have other businesses. You're an actual business owner, because I get ideas and stuff from you because you own businesses. So before you go, plug your other businesses that you have.
The Beauty of Threading and More. It's a threading salon, eyebrow shaping, hair removal for women.
Right on.
Yeah. Males can get their eyebrows done as well.
Okay.
We're located in Oxnard. We're in the same plaza as Toppers on Gonzales, 181 East Gonzales Road.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I want to, he's savvy dude, really smart. So, has a lot of business sense. So I always wanted to get him on the show. So I'm really excited that we got to, kind of pick your brain.
Thank you.
And let people know what your classes are at Progressive Martial Arts.
Right.
The days and time.
On every Thursday, we have wrestling 6 to 7, and then grappling 7 to 8. Me and Coach Dennis will teach. We'll warm up, do some partner drills for about 30 minutes, and then for 30 minutes we'll go live.
Awesome, brother.
Any of your fighters have any fights coming up that you want to promote or anything?
That? We have a couple guys looking to compete, and before the year's over, in December 22nd, we have Jimmy. We're trying to get him to be a little more well-rounded and working on his wrestling right now. And then Greg will make his amateur debut as well on December 22nd.
Can't wait.
Oh, nice. Which promotion is he fighting for, Gina?
They might go all the way over to Visalia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, because 559, they're giving away fights.
Yeah.
But you remember our new motto is we ain't leaving it up to the judges. We're gonna knock them the fuck out.
Finish them. Yeah. Last time they favored the other guy.
They always do.
Yeah.
They have in every case.
We got to lean on our guys over here at Spar Star too. Maybe that's not as far as a drive.
For sure.
Yeah. I've competed a bunch of times under.
Yeah, me and you both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually where we met. Do you know the backstory on how me and him met?
No, I know. Yeah, the guy that I was mentioning, Anthony Collex. He's the matchmaker. He hit me up to. You met him or not?
What's his last name?
Calix.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you. I have a picture of him. I have his Instagram. I'll show you. He hit me up and matched me up with a couple guys there. I fought there like 3-4 times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how me and him met, through fighting. He was calling.
Yeah, I was doing cage side commentary for the first time ever, so I'm going through and I'm like, I don't know who anybody is. Some of the names are hard to pronounce, and I'm sure you're familiar with Kevin Widows, who I shared the booth with.
Yeah, he and I fought on the same card over in Studio City, a long time ago. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Widows is he's so great. I love him. He's a great follow on Instagram.
Small world. That's crazy.
Hey, unless you're sensitive, he's a good follow on Instagram.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going through the papers, and there's names that are hard to pronounce and all that stuff. And then I'm looking, and I go, oh, there's somebody fighting from Oxnard. Da, da, da. He's 0-0, and he's how old?
I know that. I was 40. I was 40 years old.
He was 40 years old.
Yeah.
It said 0-0, Oxnard, California at 40, and I was like, what is going on tonight? Right. And so deep in my heart, I'm rooting for him, and it didn't start off right away.
No,
the fireworks
it was a little slow the first round, and then we got the second round, and he got knocked out. His lights were out. That was remember my first fight when I knocked that dude's lights out.
Yeah,
and he was he was down for a minute.
I about leaped in the air, man. I was so excited.
That's
for him.
when you fought the Asian homie.
Yeah,
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, Tran. He was good too. He was on his way. I was supposed to be a stepping stone up to somewhere else.
So I went back to him, and I can't remember if I introduced myself to one of your coaches first, but I was like, hey, just want you to know I'm a local 805. It'd be great to catch up with you sometime. Boom, boom. We took a quick picture. That picture is the picture we use
all the time.
Posters and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That same picture from the first night we met. Mark was still sweating.
Yeah, I was still in. Yeah,
on,
I had my glove on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that night, I wasn't there. I was busy with work. Yeah, but the majority of the time, I'm there in his corner. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like all the way we went to Valencia when he fought. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's always at my fights. He's a coach. He's definitely in those corners are definitely in the fight in the back, warming them up, getting us ready. Same thing for him. He actually fights. He's not just a coach. He fights. He comes out and it's going to be a brawl. It's the reason why they call him the Savage. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to see my first fight. It was like a scene out of a movie. This dude's tall, lean, muscular, and tattoos, and I'm there still like carrying a little bit of body fat. And he hits me. I hit him. I stepped out. I hit him with a Superman, and then I shot in on him. I picked him up airborne, dumped him hard, and when he landed, kind of a common wrestling injury, he pulsed it like this. His arm broke.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's known just. This guy.
Yowza.
Yeah, that's when I got the nickname Savage. Like one of the guys in the background, you snapping dudes like a Slim Jim.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, that's pretty. He's a great fighter, man. It's really cool. Not only that, he's in the same fashion. Where not only fights but trains. Not only trains but coaches, not only coaches but runs other businesses. So definitely gives back to the community. It's a lot of what me and your show is about. It's about fighting. It's about comedy. It's about community.
It's about teamwork too. And I gotta
sure.
say that Mark talks a lot about how important his team is. We're like open about that kind of
sure.
stuff, about how important people are, and he has talked about how important you are to him and how important you are to his journey. So it's like such a mad respect because I love this dude, and if you're important to him, you got to be important. You know what I mean?
For
sure. Yeah. So that's my bro for sure. We thank you for coming on the show, brother.
For sure. Yeah, I saw the Diana posted, and then I was like, man, I gotta go check it out for a few.
Yeah, definitely what our plan is to do is to be here and come do more shows here. So we're definitely gonna offer and ask you to come in. That way we can have more talks with you about a lot of stuff in this fight world. Because me and him, we talk a lot about this fight stuff a lot.
For sure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool thing have you on and talk about, get your ideas of some of the stuff that is going on.
Yeah, we talk a lot about like preparation. We talk about mindset going into the fights and things like that. And because not everybody can understand,
right?
Like all of that goes into people see you like from the moment you start walking out to the cage. They don't realize all those months, all those injuries, all those opportunities you had to pass for other dreams because this was the important thing.
For sure.
Like people don't see that, so we kind of try to talk about that and bring people a little bit closer to the process.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we try to dumb down this whole fight thing for people who want to be a part of it but don't understand it. You know how technical we could be as fighters. Some people get lost in our whole technical talk about the fight world. And, you know, they just want to talk about who knocked out who and how he went down. And that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with those type of people as well. So
Definitely.
we like to bring that type of stuff. So thank you for coming on, bro.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
We'll do it again very soon, too.
Yeah, we will, for sure.
So we had a couple of exciting guests here on the Walkout Live from the Wheelhouse VIP Lounge.
Really cool.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, it was really cool, bro. I have to say that, you know, this was a cool, different feeling for the Walkout.
Yeah.
And, you know, they invited us back. So, you know, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, it's a great little vibe here. I like it, and I think this is a good home for the Walkout. I'm looking forward to doing more episodes right here, just like we are tonight.
That's awesome. So, hey, you guys, if you guys are out, you guys are in the city, of course, you know, this weekend they're going to have a bunch of deals going throughout the weekend. This looks like they got for 11/22, which is today.
Yeah, this ain't gonna be posted before 9:30 p.m. or 9 p.m.
So don't worry, you won't be getting to this one, but don't worry about it.
Might be posted in time for tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Thanksgiving.
And Thanksgiving is tomorrow, 30% off, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, it's reduced hours.
Reduced hours on for the Thanksgiving.
And then tell them what's going on the 24th, bro.
24th is, of course, Green Friday, 40% off, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And going into that Monday, 11/27.
Is Cyber Monday. You get 30% off on online orders only. 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. are the hours. So, hey, they're giving out a lot of holiday cheer. They're giving back to the community. So, you know, make sure you support.
Yeah, so those first three are in-house, so you come here to the Wheelhouse here in Port Hueneme, the Wheelhouse VIP Lounge or the dispensary, and then for that Thanksgiving or for Green Friday, but Cyber Monday, completely online. I guess that's why the word cyber is in there.
For sure.
I just realized that probably people didn't need me to do the math on that for them. That's how good it is here at the Wheelhouse Lounge.
You better believe it.
But to summarize, we had some really good conversations, and I thought it was a very good episode. I appreciate you setting this up, and I'm glad that we're, got a new home to do this at.
Thank you for popping up, and I'm looking forward to everything we got going on.
All right, sounds good, my bro. All right, thanks for listening to The Walkout.